Welcome to TRB Tunnel Solutions training. In this training, we're going to take a look at customer maintenance in the portal. Let's get started. After you log into your Patheon portal, you can manage your customers through the Customers section. First, we're going to show you how to add a new customer. You can press the Add New Customer button. You can enter the required fields, first and last name, and phone number. If you enter a phone number that's already in use, and you decide that this is actually the planned customer that you want to edit, you can click on that customer to go directly to their record by clicking Leave. And you can now edit that customer. However, if you're putting in new information for a brand new customer, and they have a unique number, you can continue to edit information. The last required bit of information is the state. Keep in mind you can fill out as much information as you like, including email address or home address. Once you click Save, you have the basic information for a customer. Notice that if you have notifications enabled in your system, either email or SMS, you'll have sliders for each showing on this screen. If the customer says they don't want to be notified via email, you can slide those notifications to off. You can add notes to your customer records as well. And even set the system to alert at the different terminal types. We see when the note was created, where it was created, and the detail. You can add vehicle information in the portal as well. If you add a license plate, notice that the state becomes a required field. Once you have all the information in, you can go ahead and click the checkbox to save. You can add a vehicle picture, however, when the customer comes on site, we will take a picture at the XPT, and that can be added at the tunnel loader. You can also add payment cards online. When you add the payment card online, and you are a multi-site organization, you'll need to select the site for which the purchases will likely be made. We'll call this the customer's home site. If you're working over the phone, for example, you can ask them what is the location that they go to most often. I'll go ahead and put a test card in here. Once we submit and the card gets tokenized, it gets put on file as the default card for this customer. We'll talk about activating gift cards in a moment. Let's talk about adding the different types of plans. When you click Add Plan, you select the home site for the plan. This will not only define where the credit card is activated or used, but will define what plans are available for you to purchase. Online, you could purchase manually reloading plans with units. You can choose automatic reloading plans with units. You can choose expiring and manually reloading monthly or period plans. You can activate what's called an open expiration plan, which is a special comp plan we'll talk about in a moment. You can sell a time-based manual reload plan, or you can sell an automatic reloading plan right from the portal. We're going to select the Unlimited Best as an automatic reloading plan. And since we added a vehicle on the last page, we're able to select the vehicle here. If we don't add a vehicle before going into this page at this time, you're not able to actually activate a plan. We'll go ahead and click Add to Order. We now have the plan details. If there is a discount that needs to be applied to the plan, you can type the discount code in here. Let's take a short side trip and set up a discount for this plan. I'll go to the Discounts section, and I'll call this the Online Portal Unlimited Best. This is a customer-based promotion, and it's going to have a coupon code. It's for new plan members, and we'll make it for our Unlimited Best plan. The number of days is how many days since they've had a plan at all in order for this discount to be activated. Since this is a new customer I'm setting up, this really won't matter, but it'll check to make sure for your existing customers they haven't had a plan with you in at least 90 days. We're going to set this up so that it gives the first month at $5 by using the set price to $5. We don't want to show this on the POS because this is only going to be used in our Patheon portal and our remote customer maintenance sessions. We'll leave it active and click Save. We'll create the code to be used. If it's a code for our managers, we can have something such as OLP, Online Portal, UNL Best. And it could be a code that could be unlimited redemptions, or you could even make it expire. Maybe I'll have codes that expire, for example, at the end of the year, and I'll use a new set of codes next year. You select the site where you want the codes to be active, and you click Save. We now have the discount set up, so we're going to flip back over to our payment screen. We're back to the order confirmation screen, and we can type in OLP UNL Best and click Apply. And it takes our plan down to $5, and with tax it's $5.34. You'll notice that the button is gray until we accept terms and conditions. Typically, you'll click on terms and conditions and tell the customer, if you're working with them, for example, over the phone, that they will be agreeing to pay $44.99 per month automatically charged to their credit card. You can then get a verbal confirmation. Once you have that, you can click Accept. When you click Pay Now, the plan will go active. And now we have an unlimited best plan tied to our Chevy car with this license plate. It'll automatically reload on the 28th of next month, and the credit card on file will expire at this time, and it's a Visa type. We see the history of the transaction here, plan purchase and the total. If we click the edit pencil, you can see details of what was in there, including the name of the discount. You can see the customer's name. And on a normal system, when you're logged in with your Patheon user, you would see them set up as the cashier as well. I'm set up on a demo system, so it shows unknown. If you want to view the receipt, you can click the receipt button. And these receipts are really created for all types of transactions, whether they be redemptions, plan purchases, refunds, gift cards, etc. You're going to see all customer transactions tied to this license plate back on this record. You can scroll up and down to see the paid receipt. And then here's the information for the plan authorization, including the vehicle information that was recorded at the time of sale. From a browser, on Macs, you can click Command P, or on Windows PCs, you can click Control P to save as a PDF or print to a local printer. Now let's talk about the different plan maintenance topics. If you want to add a vehicle to the Unlimited Best plan, you start with the Add Another Vehicle on the main first page. You can add the vehicle details now. Once you have a unique license plate, you can save that vehicle. And we have the 2024 Canadian vehicle here. To add a vehicle to an existing plan, or to do any action upon an existing plan really, you're going to click the Edit pencil. You'll notice that it shows the existing plan level, the vehicle that's on there, and you now have an Add Vehicle button. If I wouldn't have added a vehicle on the previous page, this button would be grayed out. If I use the vehicle that I've set up, you'll notice that the button goes back to gray because I have no more vehicles to activate on this multi-vehicle plan. We'll go ahead and click Save. And the system will see that we have a $5 discount for this plan. So it's going to go ahead and $5 cost, so it's going to go ahead and charge us $5.17 to add the additional vehicle. We'll go ahead and pay now, and we've now activated a second vehicle on the plan. The plan is showing with Vehicle 1 and Vehicle 2 both activated. To remove a vehicle from an existing plan, you'll click the Edit pencil again, and then click the trash can next to the vehicle that you'll want to remove. You'll go ahead and click Save. The system will ask you if you want to remove at the next reload or remove immediately. If you say remove at next reload, it treats it as a discontinuation of the vehicle. If you say remove immediately, it'll give you a prorated refund that you can then go put back in the sale and refund back to the card on file. We've now removed the second vehicle. This was a roundabout way to switch the plan from one vehicle to another. However, if you want to just switch the vehicle, you can edit the plan and just select the other vehicle. Notice that this gives you the same options to remove at next reload or remove immediately. If you remove at next reload, it'll temporarily treat you like a 2-vehicle plan, and if you remove immediately, it'll show that the total due is a $0 change. So it's really performing those last 2 steps that we just did all at once. You also have the option to switch the plan level that the customer is on. We're on the best level plan, so if we want to go, for example, downgrade to the better plan, we can do that. And if there is a plan change that requires a refund, it would show this here. Keep in mind, you'll need to use this with a grain of salt. Here we had a plan that had a discount on it, and it was only $5 charged for the first month, and our other plan doesn't have a discount, so they're actually being charged to downgrade. In most instances, when you're paying full price or switching down to a lower level plan, it'll perform a refund to the customer rather than a charge. But we purchased the first higher level plan on a discount, and that's why we're being charged to change in the first month. We can go ahead and click Add to Order, accept the new terms and conditions or the new charges, and click Pay Now. And we've now switched from one plan to another. It now shows that we're on the better plan, and we have the existing Chevrolet vehicle. If we want to replace the card on file, we'll first need to go to the payment card section and add a second card. We'll select the payment site where we want the card to be tokenized, and we'll put in the second card's card number. Notice, you have to add the second card before you can replace the first card on file. We'll go ahead and click Submit, and we now have a second card. The plan card is 0329, and we'll want to replace it with the 0203. You'll see that 0329 is the plan card. Again, we'll click the Edit pencil on the plan, and under the Reload Payment Details, we'll select the new card. This will move the active payment card to the 0203 card. We now have the plan card that is showing 0203 will be reloaded on 4/28. Keep in mind when you're replacing a card on file, no charge will go to the card right now. We're going to go ahead and activate a different type of plan on the different vehicle. We'll click Add Plan, select the site, select the new plan. In this case, I'm going to select a 5 manually reloading good plan and the second vehicle. And I'll go ahead and add the total to the order. This is a $30 plan, and you can select either card on file to be the card that will be reloaded for this plan. We'll go ahead and click Pay Now. Notice I didn't have to accept terms and conditions because this is not an automatic reloading plan every month. So now I have 2 plans, an unlimited better for my Chevy and a manual reload plan for my second vehicle here. For manually reloading plans, if you click the Edit pencil, you do have an additional option, which is called Reload. This means I can add 5 more units, or whatever the original units were, at the original price at any time before these units expire. I'll go ahead and click Pay Now. And now for my 5 manual reloading plans, it shows that I have 10 units. So I will be able to use this plan until my 10 units are all used up. Once the 10th unit is used up, for manually reloading plans, the plan is no longer active and it'll go to the Inactive tab. Inactive tabs can show you plans that were terminated, the dates on which they're terminated, and the vehicle on which the termination happened. You also have the option to terminate, and if your plans are set up with a refund, it would give you a refund here. Here my plans are not set up with a refund, so I'm not going to terminate these plans. We'll just leave those units on their record. For more information on setting up plans with refunds on them, including your unit plans, you can see the Setting Up the Plan lesson. Since we have cards on file, we can perform refunds through the Patheon portal as well. We'll select the reason for the refund. We can type in the amount and select the card that we want the dollars to go to. And the refund is now processed. We'll see that we have a refunded receipt here. Remember that we talked about the process of replacing the card on file. That will only work when you have an automatic reloading plan. Otherwise, it's already used the card on file, and you can select any card when you reload additional units. You get the Add to Order, and you can select any payment card at that point. We talked about discontinuing an individual vehicle, but we may want to discontinue entire plans. For example, we have the Unlimited Better plan, and maybe we want to try it out for a month, but we don't want to auto-reload. In this case, we'll click the Edit pencil and discontinue. Discontinuation requires a reason. We'll go ahead and confirm. And notice nothing really happens other than we put a discontinuing note in the status, and the reload is removed. So this plan is still in a good state, and it can be used until 4/28. If we want to reactivate the plan from discontinuation, we merely can press the Reactivate button while we're still in that process. If we go past the 28th in the discontinuation, the plan is now inactive, and you'd have to sell it again by clicking the Add Plan button. Terminating a plan, however, makes the plan inactive immediately. We'll click Terminate, and notice that when our plan is set up to allow for refunds, the prorated refund for today for the rest of the month is put in there by default. You can go back in time if they purchased it a day before today, and this would make your prorated refund calculate based on the date in which you want to prorate that refund. You can go all the way back to the reload date and give a full refund. Since we just sold this today, this is already a full refund. We can add it to the order automatically. If you want to terminate the plan due to something like fraud, you may decide that you don't want to issue a refund, so you slide the slider to No, and add the termination item to the confirmation screen, and click Confirm. We've now terminated the plan without a refund. It shows now on the inactive plan, Terminated is showing as the status. Let's go ahead and resell a plan. We will sell to our training demo site 1 the good plan, the unlimited good plan to the vehicle that we've just deactivated. Notice since it's a new plan, we'll need to accept the terms and conditions and select which of our cards we want to be the card on file for that plan. We'll select the 0329 card. So notice, once you have cards on file, you can do a lot of these operations without even having the customer's confirmation on the phone. However, technically, if you are changing a plan level, you should read them, the terms and conditions, as they are going to be verbally agreeing to a new plan level. The last option is to suspend a plan, and you can suspend it from the main page here by clicking Suspend, or by clicking the Edit pencil and then clicking the Suspend button. Suspend means that we are going to stop reloads as of this date, and the first date available is the next date, and we're going to resume on a future date. For example, if my customer knew that starting in June they would not be using the plan, I could tell the system to stop reloading on 5/28, and let's just say they are going to be in a different state for a month, or on vacation, or relocated, and we want to resume them by skipping the month of June and skipping the month of July and resuming at the end of July towards August. This would be how the system would be set up. You'll notice that now we have a status of suspending on 5/28. This plan will reload on 4/28, and then for the second reload period, it sees that that is a suspension start date, and then it will automatically resume itself on that 7/28 date. If the customer decides they want to cancel the suspension before it happens, you just click reactivate. If they want to cancel the suspension after the suspension has started, you'll tell them just to visit the site, and when they pull up to the pay station, it'll ask them to resume their plan. We now have the option as well to add what we call manual plan reload discounts. I'm going to go to the discount section and click add discount. We'll call this the free good reload. This will apply to my customers. It needs to be a manual type, meaning that it only applies to active plan members. And here, since it's a good reload, we're going to apply to the unlimited good plan. This is my reloading plan. We'll select continue. And here we have two options. One is a fixed reload discount, and we can set the price of the reload to $0 to make it free. Keep in mind that we also have the option to set up what's called a flexible discount. For example, maybe we want to set up a 3-period discount where the first price, we set it to 0, and the second period, which would be the month after, maybe we charge them $5, and then maybe we go back to full price. Here we're just going to do a free reload discount. The nice thing about this is that it'll ask you how many reloads you want to give for free when you add this to the customer's record. We'll go ahead and activate this coupon. Select the site. And now this can be applied at both a point of sale and in the Patheon portal. We'll go to the customer record in the portal, and we still have our customer that has an active unlimited good plan. We'll click the edit pencil to edit their plan, and notice there's a add discount button here. We can now pick from all available discounts that are eligible for this plan. And we just set up the free good reload. So it is a fixed reload discount at a $0 price, and it asks us how many reloads we want to give them for free. This is typically used for customer service scenarios. Maybe we decide we're going to give them 2 months for free. We'll go ahead and select the 2 and confirm. If we add a plan discount in error, notice we have 2 pending plan discounts, one that will be on 4/28 and one on 5/28. We can remove all pending discounts and click confirm, and it removes those discounts, and now the plans will reload at full price. We want to add a discount back because maybe we selected a wrong number of periods and we were only authorized to give 1 reload for free. We can do it that way. And whenever you have an active reload discount on a plan, when you go back to the customer record and review the plan, you'll see that the price shown here is going to be the next reload price, including the discount. You can also activate complimentary gift cards. Keep in mind, for this process to work, you have to activate a specific type of gift card called complimentary. Setting up complimentary gift cards is covered in our product setup video. Once you have a code that you can activate, go ahead and click Activate Gift Card. These are typically codes that are printed to physical cards that you would mail to the customer. You would need to retrieve a code from the list. I'll paste in the code and click Continue. When you're activating a complimentary gift card, it uses the configuration for the code that you've set up. So I set up a complimentary gift card with a total upper limit of $100. I'm going to go ahead and put $10 on the gift card. Since this is a complimentary card, it goes into the order confirmation screen as a $0 confirmation. The gift card is now active and can be used on site, and it's ready to mail to the customer. The last type of plan that we haven't talked about yet is a plan that is called an open expiration plan. I'm going to add a third vehicle to our customer record. And here I'll type in an RFID number. The system validates that it is a unique number. So we'll go ahead and click the Save button. And now we'll click Add Plan. We'll select the site where the open expiration plan is active. These plans are only visible from the Patheon portal and don't show up on the POS by default. When you click the Open Expiration Plan, you have a special field where you can select an expiration date. This is nice when you are performing some sort of complementary operation where it may span several months and you want to add an expiration date on in the future, but you don't want to set up a plan just for that purpose. You can use the open one and select a date that would be a custom length. We'll add the vehicle to the plan, and since this is a complimentary plan, you click Add to Order and confirm. This customer, Sam White, now has 3 plans. They've got an open expiration plan, which will give them the good wash level for this vehicle until August 31st of 2025. They have an unlimited good plan that has their next reload for free, and they have a 5 manually reloading plan that has 10 units because we added an additional 5 using the reload button to this vehicle here. All of these vehicles can be managed online from your Patheon portal. From time to time, a customer's phone number that they enter on your EWA will be linked to the wrong customer record. You can find the customer by going to the web users and looking them up by their phone number. You'll notice here that you need to make sure that you search the phone field and not the name field. And once you find the web phone number that they use to sign in online, you'll see the linked customer. If you click the edit pencil, you can unlink that customer if it's linked to the wrong record. And you'll want to make sure that you click save. And that will mean that this phone number is now no longer registered to an active member in your database. They can sign up as a brand new record using this phone number. If that phone number is still set up in another customer record, we can search the phone number field and find that customer. And when you click the name, when you're under the customer section, you can edit details, including the phone number. I've now replaced it with a different phone number, which has basically allowed that phone number to be assigned to my new web user. Finally, we have the ability now to delete customers. If we go back to the customer list and we reset the view, you'll notice that we have trash cans next to individual customers. If we try to delete a member, for example, the trash can offers a permanent delete function. When we click delete, the system will restrict our action because they have an active plan membership and they cannot be deleted. If you have a customer that's a non-member, for example, this Ryan customer, and we click delete, that customer will be removed and all of their vehicle and other information will be removed from that record as well and be freed up to be reused. If, for example, you have multiple customer records for the same customer record, you can move all the plans and cards to one record and remove all the additional records. You can also remove training content for customers that you don't want to be active. We have 21 customers here. Maybe we want to remove this customer. You'll now notice we have 20. So keep in mind that deleting is a action that we can't undo at this time. And it is something that is powered by a security key. If we go in and take a look at the security keys in the Patheon portal, look at the customer section, the customer delete on portal is a separate key that is needed for the security role of the user that's using the portal in order for the trash can to show up and allow you to delete the customer. The second way of deleting a customer would be going into their record first by clicking on the name and then clicking the delete from within inside the view of the customer. So you can click it on the customer list or in the individual view of a customer. Keep in mind, wherever you're at, if it is tied to an active plan, it'll prohibit you from deleting that customer. Finally, you saw this a couple times, but you can search by name, phone, license plate, RFID number, or credit card. Here I'm going to go ahead and type in credit card, and you can enter the last 4 digits of the credit card. And there are my customers that use the 0570 customer as the last 4 digits. Keep in mind this is not a perfect science, as you could have 2 customers that are using different cards with the same last 4 digits. But it's a quick way to pull up customers. Also, the phone number should be mostly unique in modern systems. So you can find that customer here. This customer actually started a process where they signed into the web, but they didn't complete the sale process, so we have a generic record called unnamed customer because we weren't able to update the customer record with permanent information. Notice that anytime you click away and go back to your customer record, it will be filtered by whatever you search for last, so be sure that you are able to locate the Reset View button in order to click this and return back to the normal view of the customer list. This is especially helpful if you have thousands or tens of thousands of customers. And that's customer maintenance in the Patheon portal. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please send them to training@drb.com.